The Amazon rainforest, also called Amazon jungle or Amazonia, is a moist broadleaf tropical rainforest in the Amazon biome that covers most of the Amazon basin of South America. This bus encompasses 7 million square kilometers, 2,700,000 square miles, two of which 6 million square kilometers to 1,300,000 square miles are covered by the rainforest. This region includes territory belonging to 9 nations and 3,344 formally acknowledged indigenous territories. The majority of the forest, 60%, is in Brazil, followed by Peru with 13%, Colombia with 10%, and with minor amounts in Bolivia, Ecuador, French Guiana, Guyana, Suriname, and Venezuela. 4 nations have Amazonas as the name of one of their first-level administrative regions, and France uses the name Guiana Amazonian Park for French Guyana's protected rainforest area. The Amazon represents over half of Earth's remaining rainforests, and comprises the largest and most biodiverse tract of tropical rainforest in the world, with an estimated 390 billion individual trees and about 16,000 species. More than 30 million people of 350 different ethnic groups live in the Amazon, which are subdivided into 9 different national political systems and 3,344 formally acknowledged indigenous territories. Indigenous peoples make up 9% of the total population, and 60 of the groups remain largely isolated. Large-scale deforestation is occurring in the forest, creating different harmful effects. Economic losses due to deforestation in Brazil could be approximately 7 times higher in comparison to the cost of all commodities produced through deforestation. In 2023, the World Bank published a report proposing a non-deforestation-based economic program in the region, 7-8. Based on archaeological evidence from an excavation at Caverna do Pedra Pintada, human inhabitants first settled in the Amazon region at least 11,200 years ago. 11 subsequent development led to late prehistoric settlements along the periphery of the forest by AD 1250, which induced alterations in the forest cover. For a long time, it was thought that the Amazon rainforest was never more than sparsely populated, as it was impossible to sustain a large population through agriculture given the poor soil. Archaeologist Betty Meggers was a prominent proponent of this idea, as described in her book Amazonia, Man and Culture in a Counterfeit Paradise. She claimed that a population density of 0.2 inhabitants per square kilometre is 0.5 to a square mi. There's a maximum that can be sustained in the rainforest through hunting, with agriculture needed to host a larger population. However, recent anthropological findings have suggested that the region was actually densely populated. The Apano Valley sites in present-day eastern Ecuador predate all known complex Amazonian societies. Some 5 million people may have lived in the Amazon region in AD 1500, divided between dense coastal settlements, such as that at Marajo, and inland dwellers, 15 based on projections of food production. One estimate suggests over 8 million people living in the Amazon in 1492. 16 by 1900, the native indigenous population had fallen to 1 million, and by the early 1980s, it was less than 200,000. The first European to travel the length of the Amazon River was Francisco de Orellana in 1542. The BBC's and Natural Histories presents evidence that Orellana, rather than exaggerating his claims, as previously thought, was correct in his observations that a complex civilization was flourishing along the Amazon in the 1540s. The pre-Columbian agriculture in the Amazon basin was sufficiently advanced to support prosperous and populous societies. It is believed that civilization was later devastated by the spread of diseases from Europe, such as smallpox. This civilization was investigated by the British explorer Percy Fawcett in the early 20th century. The results of his expeditions were inconclusive, and he disappeared mysteriously on his last trip. His name for this lost civilization was the city of Z. Since the 1970s, numerous geoglyphs have been discovered on deforested land, dating between AD 11 to 50, furthering claims about pre-Columbian civilizations. 1920 Ondemardia is accredited with first discovering the geoglyphs in 1977, and Alsu Ranzi is credited with furthering their discovery and flying over Oka. 1821, the BBC's and Natural Histories presented evidence that the Amazon rainforest, rather than being a pristine wilderness, has been shaped by man for at least 11,000 years through practices such as forest gardening and terra preta. 18 terra preta is found over large areas in the Amazon forest and is now widely accepted as a product of indigenous soil management. The development of this fertile soil allowed agriculture and silviculture in the previously hostile environment, meaning that large portions of the Amazon rainforest are probably the result of centuries of human management naturally occurring rather than as has previously been supposed. 22 in the region of the Xingu tribe. Remains of some of these large settlements in the middle of the Amazon forest were found in 2003 by Michael Heckenberger and colleagues of the University of Florida. Among those were evidence of roads, bridges and large plazas. 23. In the Amazonas, there has been fighting and wars between the neighboring tribes of the Jivaro. Several tribes of the Jivaroan group, including the Shuar, practiced headhunting for trophies and head shrinking. 24. The accounts of missionaries to the area in the borderlands between Brazil and Venezuela have recounted constant infighting in the Yanomami tribes. More than a third of the Yanomamo males, on average, died from warfare. 25. Where the rainforest likely formed during the Eocene era from 56 million years to 33.9 million years ago. It appeared following a global reduction of tropical temperatures when the Atlantic Ocean had widened sufficiently to provide a warm, moist climate to the Amazon basin. The rainforest has been in existence for at least 55 million years, and most of the region remained free of savanna-type biomes, at least until the current ice age, when the climate was drier and savanna more widespread. Wet tropical 30 forests to 33 are the most species-rich biome, and tropical forests in the Americas are consistently more species-rich than the wet forests in Africa and Asia. 46. As the largest tract of tropical rainforest in the Americas, the Amazonian rainforests have unparalleled biodiversity. 1 in 10 known species in the world lives in the Amazon rainforest. 47. This constitutes the largest collection of living plants and animal species in the world. 48. The region is home to about 2.5 million insect species, 49 tens of thousands of plants, and some 2,000 birds and mammals. To date, at least 40,000 plant species, 52,200 fishes, 1,294 birds, 427 mammals, 428 amphibians, and 378 reptiles have been scientifically classified in the region. 52. 1 in 5 of all bird species are found in the Amazon. -1 of all bird species are found in the Amazon rainforest, and 1 in 5 of the fish species live in Amazonian rivers and streams. Scientists have described between 96,660 and 128,843 invertebrate species in Brazil alone.